Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I got a video here for you on this new KNIPEX. It is their 9518-225 US, which I mentioned is for the US market, and 225 stands for the length, which corresponds with 9-inch long. But these are the StepCut XL cable shears that are rated for 1000 volts insulated. So let's open this up, let you guys see inside, and we'll talk about what these are and if they're of any interest to you guys. Alright, so we got them out of the box here. These are them. So what's unique between these, they actually have a non-insulated version, which has obviously slightly thinner handles, and they're going to be a different color. But the ultimate purpose of these handles being as thick as they are is to give you that 1000 volt insulation for work near live parts. And that corresponds to, with on the inside here, International Standard IEC 60900. Now, I'm not an electrician, and I don't necessarily plan on using these near electrical parts, but for a lot of you guys that are watching this video, you probably are, and you probably want to know more about these. What's unique mostly about these is, one, the length. They have really long handles, so it allows you to grip on them either choked up like so, or extended out towards the end to obviously increase that leverage. You can see here too, they actually even pushed that leverage point closer to the fulcrum, so you get the better cutting area up towards the front. So as you're cutting wire, like so, you get much closer, and it becomes that much easier to cut that wire. Now, KNIPEX says that these are rated to cut solid copper or aluminum up to 2 AWG, or even stranded up to 2 AWG, and I think fine stranded up to 4 AWG. So, depending on what your needs are, you have a pretty large area there for cutting wire as needed. It's also worth noting they put part of that part number up here, that 95, and then the 225 is in reference to the overall length, again in 225 millimeters long. Now, that is serviceable at the joint, so you could put a Torx bit, I believe, in this side and that side, and tighten and loosen as necessary, because these will wear in. But what's really unique is this jaw shape. And it allows you to take wire, stranded wire, or let's say I have some household wire here. And it allows you to put it inside there. And this design naturally pulls the wire down towards the center and allows you to cut it. It also progressively cuts the wire from the outside in, which naturally pulls it in towards the center of the jaw. You can see that shape, which is a nice, unique shape. It's also worth noting, if you see that bevel or edge, it has a very sharp progression to that, which aids in its cutting. And now on the end here, this end is more facilitated towards nibbling. So if you're trying to get in there and just nibble on larger wires or on this wire, you're able to get in there like so and do a little bit of nibbling to remove. So nice feature there to allow you to get just a little jaw bite, or even like so. Sorry, try to do this while looking at the camera. You can nibble out like so to maybe split this open to gain access inside. So very unique, very interesting jaw. And, well, you can see here too, you can even just, it's actually the perfect length for this to snip off there as well. And you can do this all with one hand. Cutting larger, and I apologize, I don't have much larger here to work with. Here's some larger stranded. Let's see if we can do it off of the end here. Very easy, one-handed. And then here at the center of the fulcrum. That's just buttery, easy, smooth. And look how good of a job it does cutting. Super clean, super great. Now, it's worth noting too, guys, I want to get extra courageous about what you can cut. It is not designed to cut steel, like steel braided lines. I would stay away from that because you could easily damage, especially based off of the pitch here of that blade. You're going to stand to damage that pretty easily, I think. Now, as far as hardness, KNIPEX makes these out of high-grade tool steel. It's forged and it's oil-hardened. So KNIPEX goes the extra mile, make sure these are as hard as they possibly can make them. And I think we all know KNIPEX does a good job with their hardness of their tools. Now, overall ergonomics feels great. You actually see here too that there is a slight U shape on the backside here, And then on this side as well, it actually bumps up and over. And that helps to assist to get your hand in there and hold it in place as you're attempting to cut wire. And it does have a nice rubber overmold. This is much pliable here, and this is rubber overmold too, a little bit softer. Obviously the part number's there, and obviously all KNIPEX tools are made in Germany. Here's your ASTM and your 1000 volts. Yeah, once again, handhold, easy, super easy to grab, super easy to use. Cuts wire just fine, as you guys have seen with all these. I'd say even here, if you're trying to cut a little bit of, like, say, paracord or the like, stick it inside like so. I mean, it doesn't have to be electrician, although this is going to be overkill. Obviously, this is electrician's grade. But I'd even say this guy's too, if you got a hose, and a challenge sometimes with other cutting tools is being able to get a piece of hose sometimes is to cut them nice and clean and straight. And these will actually do a good job of that. So line it up inside there, give it a cut, nice clean cut to hose as well. Much like, yeah, this end as well. So it did a great job cutting. I'd say, obviously there's lots of uses for it. The main reason though is going to be for a lot of you electricians out there watching this video to cut larger wire or nibble into larger wire with this end. And it's also worth noting too, they do put a slight taper to the end here and also to this part of the jaw. And I imagine that's to help facilitate getting material in there, and also maybe as this jaw wears, it doesn't come in and bind on itself. I think it helps with that progression, especially as you're squeezing hard. You might get a little bit of flex, and it allows, I can actually feel it right now catching. So I think it allows you to get that tighter jaw clearance inside there. But yeah, all in all, great set of cable shears and great step cutting. It's also worth noting too that the head is a slim head design. I have some other clipper cutters here, right? These are much bigger, do a similar fashion of cutting, but this slim head design also allows you to get into tight places. So if you have limited accessibility, it's also nice to really have these, especially if it's whatever you're working on is already electrified. You don't want to be able to be touching and arcing across other pieces of equipment. You want to be able to get quick, easy access and not bump into things. And then weight on this comes in about 15.1 ounces. So not that heavy. That's actually fairly light and fairly maneuverable for its size. Now, where do you purchase it at? Obviously, you can purchase various KNIPEX retailers. These ones on Amazon are roughly right now about $76. If you don't want to have the insulated type and just have their standard handles, their comfort handles, they're going to run you probably about 60 some odd dollars, mid-60 range. So about $10 less for the non-insulated. But I do like the insulated just for the fact that it adds just a little bit more material, helps to aid with the cushioning, and if by any chance I'm ever around electrified parts, it gives me that added protection as well. So anyways guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you have? What do you use for your electrical needs? And what do you think of these ones? Are you guys gonna pick up a set? Anyways, if you guys have already, please consider liking and subscribing down below, and we'll keep sending more videos like this out to you guys. Alright guys, we'll talk to you soon.